We're going to talk about the basics of fishing. So before you start worrying about lure selection and reel selection and rod selection, we're first going to talk about the area which we've selected for this. Today in this video we found a backwater pond. We can already see signs of fish, such as we just see some rough fish out there jumping. Lots of vegetation for fish to hide under and feed and everything. And it's nice and deep so it can support fish during the winter time so they won't freeze over and die. So we've got our location figured out, and now we're just going to cut the lures. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our lure selection after we've picked out our area. So you can see here we have an assortment of lures ranging anywhere from our plastics. Find one, pull it out here. Normally this would have a hook on it. This is what a plastic looks like. This is just for basic jigging, and it's really multi-purpose. You can fish in a wide variety of waters here. We have our spinner baits for also multi-purpose. These run about at a medium depth, so they'd be good for waters like this as long as there's not a too heavy a weed growth. So the spinner bait looks like a good choice. What else do we have? I've selected just a basic spinning lure and tied it on here. The reason why I selected this is because we're fishing in murkier waters here, so I wanted something that'll really stand out so that the fish can see it. And since our selected fish is bass, and bass they feed mostly by vibration rather than smell, I did select something that's going to make a lot of noise in the water, which is this little spoon right here. In the water, this will just give it some action as it will spin around and rattle a decent amount. And then my friend Ashton here, he noticed that around this pond there's a lot of frogs jumping in the water, so a fish, like most fish in this pond, would probably feed on frogs and bugs and stuff like that. So he's just going to pick a frog that he can pull through pretty much like light vegetation, and it'll probably be also just as reliable as a lure here. So once you select your bait, and it's really just a matter of experience, and once you get it down, you can pretty much tell what kind of bait you need to use in what condition, just from time at the water. So yeah, then we're just going to move on to the actual casting and fishing aspect. Alright, so now that we have our lure selected, we're just going to scan around here and try to find a good spot. So today, as you notice, it's a bit of a sunnier day. So most predator fish are going to be under cover in shadows or in weed beds, an area like that. So we're just going to want to select out certain areas that we're going to want to fish. So I can see that tree over there looks pretty nice. I think if I casted right where that shadow is, I think there's a weed bed there, so I could pull some fish out of there. And then also where those lily pads are, it looks like there could be proper coverage. Yeah, so we're just going to find areas of coverage like that where we think the fish would be. And since we are fishing a predator fish, which is bass, that's the fish we've selected today to try to catch. Since predator fish usually don't really swim in schools, we're actually going to just want to pull one out at a time, obviously. So we're going to want to start here and then fan our way to the other end of the pond over there, and then start over trying to get that one in the area, and then just working it back around. And then from here on out we're going to have to talk about our cast. Alright, so now I'm just going to talk a little bit about the way the reel operates in the cast. So this is your most common reel. It's an ultralight spinning reel. So that means everything on the outside is exposed. You can actually see all the components working and spooling the line on. And then you're just going to, in order to cast it, you're going to want to take your finger and hook the line with it like that. And then just open this bail. And then you can see I put too much line on it because it's starting to overflow there. But yeah, really that's just how you cast it. And then you're going to want to come back in a motion like this until your arm and elbow is locked at 90 degrees. And then you're going to want to throw it out. And as you throw it out, you're going to just allow this line here under your finger to release. And then the lure will be out there and you'll just slowly reel it in. But for the sake of this video, because I have a power line, if you look, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's right up there. Because we have a power line there, we're actually going to want to do a sidearm cast. So that means it's a little more complicated. Let's try to see if I can film this. You're going to want to take it back like this, point the end of the rod at where you want it to land, and then you just flick it over, and the lure should go in that general direction. It's really not a very accurate cast, but I would rather prefer that than to lose all my lures up in that power line and have my hair stand up because I get electrocuted. It got pretty dark. So I'm just gonna do the sidearm. I'm gonna point it out there and just toss it out. And when it lands in the water, see, you're just going to want to slowly reel it in. And this is one of the parts where you have to be kind of disciplined about, because if you're reeling it in too fast, then it'll be too fast for the fish to get, or they might want to put the effort in. They might not want to put the effort in order to catch it. So you just have to be disciplined and try to make sure you do it slow. This too depends on the weather. You can see I got a little weeds here. Try to get those off. Alright, just about. So yeah, it really depends on the weather, how fast you're going. In heavier weather, like with cloud cover, the fish are going to be moving a little more slowly, so you're going to want to slow it down. In nice weather like this, you're just going to want to go at a medium pace. And then depending on how the fish are biting, you can go at a faster pace. And you'll figure it out after experience, really. So, then I'm just going to take a few more casts, and yeah, thanks for watching. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you have good luck fishing. And that wasn't even planned. Oh my god.